Triceratops, the great three-horned face. Hello, junior paleontologists, and welcome back to our dino adventure. Today, we're meeting one of the most famous dinosaurs of all. He's big, he's strong, and you'd know him anywhere. Get ready to meet Triceratops. Let's start with his name. It's a big Greek word, but it's simple. Tri means three, Keras means horn, and ops means face. Put it all together and you get three-horned face, and what a face it is. It's one of the easiest dinosaurs to recognize. First, you see his horns. He has one short, thick horn on his nose, right where a rhino's horn would be. But then, look above his eyes. He has two enormous, long, pointy horns, stretching way out over his head. But that's not all. Look behind the horns. Do you see that giant fan of bone? That's called a frill. It's a huge, solid shield of bone that rises up from the back of his skull and protects his entire neck. This frill, combined with his three horns, makes the Triceratops's head one of the biggest and most spectacular of any animal that ever lived. Triceratops was a plant eater, or a herbivore. But don't let that fool you. He wasn't small and weak. He was a giant. He was as long as two cars and weighed more than a garbage truck. He was a strong, stocky, and powerful creature. And he needed to be because he shared his world with a very famous, very scary neighbor, the indestructible tank. That's right. The Triceratops lived at the exact same time and in the exact same place as the Tyrannosaurus rex. They were neighbors in North America, at the very end of the age of dinosaurs. And while the T-Rex was the top hunter, the Triceratops was the top defender. He was built like a living tank. Imagine a hungry T-Rex comes looking for lunch. The Triceratops wouldn't run away. He would stand his ground. First, he would use his frill. That giant bone shield wasn't just for show. It made his head look huge and scary, which might be enough to warn a predator to back off. It also acted like a giant suit of armor, protecting his neck from that powerful T-Rex bite. But what if the T-Rex didn't back off? Well, that's what the horns were for. A Triceratops could lower its head and charge, just like an angry bull. Those two long horns over its eyes were sharp, strong, and deadly. They were the perfect weapons to poke and jab at the soft belly of a T-Rex. Many scientists have found T-Rex bones with holes in them that perfectly match the horns of a Triceratops. These horns weren't just for fighting predators. Triceratops probably used them to fight each other too. Just like deer or moose today, male Triceratops would lock horns and wrestle, pushing and shoving to see who was the strongest and who would be the boss of the herd. He was strong, he was tough, and he was one of the few dinosaurs that would bravely face down a T-Rex. So, when he wasn't being a tough tank, what was a Triceratops doing all day? Eating. As a giant herbivore, a Triceratops had to eat a lot of plants to keep his big body going. But the plants in his world weren't soft grass. They were tough, woody ferns and cycads. To eat them, the Triceratops had another special feature. Look at his mouth. It wasn't flat. He had a sharp, hard beak, just like a giant parrot. He would use this powerful beak to snip and slice through the toughest branches and stems. Then, in the back of his mouth he had hundreds of teeth all stacked together. These teeth were like scissors, slicing and dicing the plants into a mush he could swallow. Triceratops probably didn't live alone. Scientists believe they traveled in big groups, or herds. This was much safer. Imagine a whole herd of these three-horned giants. If a predator appeared, the big, strong adults could form a circle, facing outward with their horns. And who would be safe in the middle of that circle? The baby Triceratops. By sticking together, they could use their horns and frills to protect their young and keep each other safe. So, the Triceratops wasn't a fierce hunter. He was a peaceful plant eater. But he was also one of the strongest, toughest, and best defended dinosaurs of all time. With his easy-to-remember face, three horns, and a giant frillet. No wonder the Triceratops is a favorite for dinosaur fans everywhere.